everybody, it's one of the Glue Tigers, and today I am going to be showing you how to make a blue whale out of Fimo. What you will need in this video is some light blue clay, some dark blue clay, some white clay, some black clay, and a knife. Taking your light blue clay, roll it out into a ball and wash down with your thumb. Do this until it's nice and skinny and flat. Then, after you've done that, make a round, like smaller part at one side. I'm going to be doing it at the left side, so it looks like a bit like that. I forgot to mention this in what you need in this video. You will also need a little bit more than just your light blue clay. You will need a tiny little bit to add on with your blue clay, so you get a little lava lump, and I will tell you why you need it later. With your little extra bit of light blue clay, squash it down so it's nice and flat, following the same instructions for this part. Once you've done that, cut it in half with your knife. With both halves, roll into little balls. It doesn't matter if there are any creases in it at the moment. Take them both and make little fin shapes. So squeeze one side like that, then squash it down so it looks a bit like that. You might need to shape so it looks a bit like that. You might need to shape the bottom half like I did with my fingers. So that's just squeezing it. Repeat this step with both of these. With your light blue stuff to side, take your white clay. Roll this into a ball and squash it down. This is not actually going to be a ball shaped when you put it on the whale. So you don't get that shape, you are going to make it into like a circle or an oval. I have an oval. And on one side, cut it so it's a bit smaller, just at the bottom, like so. And then with the other half, just cut it all off. With any spare clay, just put to the side, which won't be in use. Now taking your white clay, which we just modelled, which should be about that thick, place it on on the base of your whale, with the straight side on the left, which is that way. You might need to reshape or make it smaller, but that is absolutely fine. I'm just going to smooth these bits out where the white is so you can't see these blue edges, just like that, if you can see. So it ends up a bit like that. The next step is taking your knife on that white patch of your whale, make stripes going down. Just little increases. taking your black clay, cut a tiny little piece, about that big, and put it to the side, which we will need later. With the rest, roll into a very long line, strip, and like the same skinniness as the increases you made. Mine are quite skinny, so yeah, mine's going to be skinny. Once you've done that, once you've done that, well, like taking your black strip, go to one of the increases, put it down where the increase is. Oh, it's quite hard, so don't get stressed if you don't get it on your first time. And then once you've done it, with the spare clay hanging off, just cut that bit off and you can use that for the other increases. Do this to all the increases until you've finished. You might need to take some more black clay, but that is absolutely fine. That spare piece of black clay I told you to cut off, well, with it, just squash it down like I have done here and place it above the stripes on your whale. As you might notice now that the stripes are like that thing you sometimes see on whales in cartoons. And taking your spare white clay, which I bet lots of you had, if you don't, just take some white clay, roll it into a tiny ball, smaller than the black one, and just put it inside the black one, and that's your eye. Sorry. If you still have any spare black clay, like me, roll it, and if you don't, just take some. Roll it into a long line like we were doing with our stripes. Place it above the stripes, which kind of becomes a mouth, but doesn't really, but yeah. You still have some spare black clay, like I actually do. Cut a tiny bit off, but leave it in a strip. Place this above the eye. It becomes an eyebrow. And the last two pieces of the light blue clay, which have been shaped into like tears shapes. Put one on the bottom and then place the second one next to it, so it's like a tail. It doesn't matter if they're not the same size, because mine aren't. If you want them to be like, you can just cut the bigger one, or so it's the same size. But you seriously don't need to worry about that too much. Once you've finished, place it back on with the other one. To make sure these stick onto your whale, with your knife, I always make little lines attaching one part to the other. Then I try clearing them out, and it always works. Or you can use any way you like doing it, but this is just an example. It should end up looking a bit like this. The last thing you need to do is take your dark blue clay, where is it? Roll it into a ball, and I don't really know, but make like a splash of water shape. I'm just going to chop mine into 3 pieces and that you might want to do this, but if you have your own idea, that's absolutely fine. So, actually 4 pieces. Well, with the biggest piece, make another tear shape, like we have done already for the fins. And repeating that step, place it on the top of your whale, and this is going to be the water squirting out of his blowhole. With the same tip that I told you about attaching one piece to the other, I'm going to use that again just to make it stick, because sometimes it can fall off and then we end up with unhappy people. We don't want that. Taking another piece, I actually only have 3, roll it into the ball and repeat this step. All these tear shapes, they kind of need to be different sizes. It doesn't matter if they're the same size, just it's supposed to be water. And water, you never know what water size is going to be, especially when it's splashing out of a whale. With my last piece, I'm going to put it in the middle, because on cartoon whales, they normally have that. I'm actually looking at this whale off a Jacqueline Wilson book called The Worst Thing About My Sister. So if you have this book, you can have a look at that and see what I mean. So that's what the whale looks like on there. So with your whales and my whale done, well, we're not actually done, but nearly done. The last thing you need to do is just make, with your knife, make a fin shape. If you can see, there's an increase just there. Mine isn't very good, so I'm going to rub it out and do it again. So thank you all very much for watching this video. I hope you're all to see you next time. So, bye!